beautiful heaven must be. Sweet home of the happy and free. Fair haven of rest for the weary. How beautiful heaven must be. How beautiful heaven must be. I'm excited, I'm ready to go today. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, sister.
Yeah, church, I got an announcement today. Mark on the calendar, next Sunday, our youth class is going to be having our spaghetti plate fundraiser. The money we hope to take up is going to go to our Harvest Jubilee in November, about the middle of November. We have spaghetti, vegetables, salad, focus on this, the old legendary Ask Me Pete. So, y'all come together, once you're not here, we can remind them that next Sunday after service, we'll be having a spaghetti plate fundraiser.
Thank you.
Thank y'all for being here this morning. As y'all can see, my hair is turning black. No, it's just. I won't say it. I won't say anything. We got something in the house that'll help you. We're good to have Titus this evening, and the grandkids with us this morning. It's just good to be here. Before I forget it, if I do forget it, Brother Ed Taylor is in Wilmington Hospital. He hadn't gone home yet, but he needs our prayers. They said he had lupus, but the doctors there say he didn't have lupus. And so they don't know what he's got, but he's got a lot of fluid around his heart and lungs and stuff, and they've gotten a lot of it off. But pray for him and his church at Regalwood. Pray that the Lord will get him home soon and back to the work that needs to be done there. And then next week, Darrell down at the county is going in for a procedure on the 30th. It's to work with the rhythm of the heart. They're going in and they're going to burn some stuff in there. And so be much of our history. And the church will be kind of, it shouldn't be complicated, but you never know. Just remember to pray for those and all those that are here. Some are on a cruise and will be back tomorrow, and maybe or the day after. Others are at other places on vacation. And like Sherry said, we all need it, but it's a killer in the church. But that's all right. We'll get back together soon. Amen. We're in Luke chapter 23. If you have your Bible, if you don't, just read one of these screens if you can see them. It'll be up there. We're going to read verse 33 to 43. And I'll give you the message when we go through what it is I want you to see. I know it's not Easter, so I understand all that, but just bear with us this morning, and the Lord speaking to our hearts. I know that when they were come to the place which is called Calvary, there they crucified him, and the malefactors, one on the right hand and the other on the left. Then said Jesus, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. And they parted his raiment and cast lots. And the people stood beholding, and the rulers also with them derided him, saying, He saved others, let him save himself. If he be Christ, the chosen of God. And the soldiers also mocked him, coming to him and offering him vinegar, and saying, If thou be the King of Jews, save thyself. And a superscription also was written over him in letters of Greek and Latin and the Hebrew, This is the King of the Jews. And one of the malefactors which were hanged railed on him, saying, If thou be Christ, save thyself and us. But the other answering rebuked him, saying, Does not thou fear God, seeing thou art in the same condemnation? And we indeed justly, for we receive the due reward of our deeds. But this man hath done nothing amiss. And he said unto Jesus, Lord, remember me when thou comest into thy kingdom. And Jesus said unto him, Verily I say unto thee, today shalt thou be with me in paradise. I want you to know something. Our lesson this morning, and I really believe that we have a portrait here of the world today, the land we live in particular. On the one hand, we got one pleading for help, and on the other hand, we got one accusing in the middle of Christ. But I want you to know at the cross, and a lot of people may not know this, but a cross is where judgment came. The world is judged at Calvary. And I don't think people understand that the judgment has already been set in place. And God has already written the outcomes, and He knows what the punishment for sin is, and all those kind of things. God knows everything He needs to know. And we Baptists need to quit writing books trying to instruct Him on what we know that He needs to know. But God already knows and has everything He needs to know, and He knows how to deliver the righteousness out of a time such as we're living in. Now, all this was prophesied about Christ hanging there between the thieves. All that was prophesied that would happen, but I think if you can just somehow or another in your mind this morning just get a good picture of what's happening there, you'll realize where we are in the world today and how whether we are for Him or against Him. And whether our lives are where they need to be focused or whether they're not. I think if we would just see what's going on here, we'll have a true picture of what's going on around us in the world. And people today, I saw Fox News parading this priest, this ex-priest. He got out of the ministry, or he left the priesthood, and he's a hero on Fox News. And he's been on 2 or 3 of their programs. He's just a hero now that he has turned in his credentials. And I really don't know how to interpret that. I don't know. It kind of threw me for a loop. Why is this guy special? Because, I mean, are they going to make him a commentator? What's he going to be? Is he going to become a heathen like the rest of the world around him? I mean, really, what's the parade about? I don't understand that. And I think the things that we're parading today are not the things of God. Because we have the information we can prove. Church membership is increasing, but baptisms are decreasing. How is that working? I mean, does that make logical sense to you how churches can grow without baptism, without meeting the Lord Christ? Now, I want you to know, neither one of these male factors, as the Bible talks about them, I don't think they had planned that day to give their life to Christ. They had not lived out their life in such a way. They were thieves or whatever they were. And they were hanging there between him, and they were going to die like he was going to die. And the one talked about it, you know, the one who stood up for Christ, if you want to say that. But there are still, the Bible talks about a remnant. There are still a remnant of people who have not had their roads tainted by the sin and the things that are going on in this world. There are those that still will receive the Lord Jesus Christ. There's still hope for those who have. Because even on a time like this, it was the Lord Jesus who said today. When He cried out, the Lord said today. And I think the Bible teaches us that we need to cry out to Him. That we need to cry out to Christ and Christ alone, because there's none other name, there's no other way. And the Bible said, if I be lifted up, I'll draw men. And so I believe today that if men call out to Him and cry out to Christ, He still will save them. But here is the tragedy of all this. This man didn't spend his life in a theological school, or a Sunday school, or a Bible school. He didn't spend his life in a church pew. He spent his life in crime and sin. He spent his life, and it was in the moments of his dying that he realized what was really happening in his life. It was in the moment when he saw innocence in Christ that he realized that there was a need to come to him. You don't have to spend a lifetime going to church before you come to know who Christ is. You can know him in a moment. You can know him in a moment as you cry out to him. He can be known today. And for some of you here, you know that you need to cry out to him so he can save you before it's too late. Before death comes and it's too late for you. You need to do that. You need to, don't put that off any longer. And then there's some watching on that Facebook thing there. They're lost and they need to cry out to Jesus today. There are people in peril today everywhere who refuse to cry out. And then on the other hand, as I read up there in verses 33 and following, the crowds were ridiculing Christ. People everywhere, and you know the ridicule of Christ has increased 10 times, even more. He's being ridiculed everywhere. Even the most evil of people ridicule him. They behead people who believe in Christ and not Allah. We live in a crazy world, but it's always been crazy since sin came. This world. I mean, you know, really, Brother Thomas, I think back on this stuff and I look at it. The world has always been a sinful place to be in our lifetime. We've never seen our world at a time when there wasn't a place you could sin. There wasn't a place that you could join in with a group of church members in sin. There's never been a time because sin has been here all the while. But because sin has been here and because it's so great, grace is still greater than all our sin. And you see, that's the thing today that we need to realize, and that needs to be our message. The message has to be told, and people need to realize that they're dying a slow death. You know, it's like cancer that you don't know about, but it's killing you. And you're dying a slow death unto sin. And ultimately, you will die the ultimate death without Christ. So we see, and Jesus explained this in another way. Jesus said there's a narrow way and there's a broad way. You see the narrow way and the broad way at Calvary. You see those who chose to go in the narrow, and you saw those who chose to go in the broad. Jesus said there's more in the broad way and the destructive way than there are in the straight gate and in the narrow way. And there's just few people. But yet, when we hear people giving statistics, they talk about the millions and millions and billions that are going. How can it be few if there's so many who are saved? How can it be few? Why do we need to still comfort sinners and tell them that they're okay? Why are we calling sin good? Why are we having entertainment for people who constantly live in sin? Why do we spend our time in pursuit of Christian people who say they are redeemed and washed in the blood of the Lamb? I'll tell you, it's just hogwash. From the time of the upper room in Jerusalem until the time of their death, when these disciples met Jesus Christ, they were not absent in the synagogue. They were not going somewhere they shouldn't have been. They were not out there running after sin. They were trying to find a way to preach with boldness the gospel of Jesus Christ. Trying to live out their life and to live in such a way that they'd have a gospel to preach to a lost and dying world. You don't believe it? Go read about them in the Bible, and then go get the historians and read about their lives, how they lived out the days of their life for Jesus Christ, even to the point of dying because of their commitment to Him. Where is the commitment? Where is the dying? Where is the people that with boldness is willing and ready to go and preach a gospel of deliverance of the Lord Jesus Christ? I want to see everything in the Bible get loose in our day. I want to see. We want a revival, but we don't want the revival. We don't want the revival where lame men are brought to the altars and walk out of the congregation healed. We don't want that because some believe that left us there in the days of Pentecost. Something that was just for an apostolic age. Well, I'll tell you, I'm going to tear the book of James out and throw it in the garbage can. If that's the case, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to tear a lot of other books out and throw them in the trash if I can't be healed today. And I'll tell you, if God can't heal me today, I don't want God in my life. If God can't deliver me today, I don't want him in my life, because he's not the God of the Bible. But we have likened him to a genie in a bottle. When we want him, we rub the bottle and pop the cork and say, come on, Lord, somebody's dead, somebody's dying, we're broke, or my marriage is in trouble. I want you then. We want a genie God that we can manipulate, keep contained, and shut up. Well, I want to tell you something. We need a revival to strike our land. We need a revival where people line up in the streets to be healed at the shadow of the disciples and the apostles of God. We need a revival like this world has not seen in my lifetime. We've read about some great revivals of days past, but we need a revival where people look at him and say, Lord, have mercy on me. Amen. Lord, have mercy on me. And Lord, we believe, Lord, remember me when you come into your place. And Jesus said, today you can be with me. We need, that's what kind of revival we needed. We needed at New Horizon. I don't know about where you're from, but we needed it at New Horizon, and we need it everywhere else. We need the Lord to break out, show up, and I'm telling you, heal some people so that they'll know surely that God is not dead. That's right. Amen. So that we can see, Jesus said, you'll do greater things than me. Yeah. You who come after me. Where's the greater things, folks? The church went to sleep, didn't she? That's right. She went to sleep, and instead of claiming the victory. I was talking with someone just this past weekend, and we were talking about paraplegics. And we were talking about all the things that they have worked on, stem cell planting and that kind of stuff that they're having some degree of success with. But the truth of it is they have the answer now. They have medicines to cure cancer now. But I want to tell you something, and I hate to say this, it's a means of population control. It's a means of controlling. I'm telling y'all, I know you don't want to believe such stuff as that, but that's exactly what's happening. Because what did our former president, Jimmy Carter, dead, dying with cancer, stage 4. They injected him, he ain't had no cancer since. If it weren't for Jimmy Carter, why can't the average man on the street get it? Amen. I just want to tell y'all something. Things are held back. Things are controlled, and things are the way they are. You and I can't affect that. I don't care, we can elect people, but we can't affect that. There is an underlying current of that in our nation, and that's the way it has been, will be, and forever will be until the Lord breaks it up. But I want to tell you something. There shouldn't be no current in the church. I'm telling you right now, there should be no limitations put on God in any way. Anything God wants to do, we ought to let him have the privilege of doing it, and let him do it through us, to bring glory and honor to his name on earth where we're living among people who need to know that he come to seek and to save the lost and died for the godless people who need a Savior today. Amen. We need to preach it, folks. That needs to be our message forever and ever and ever. And we need not relent again. I tell you, I don't stand against anything. I stand for everything God's against. Amen? I can remember the song saying, I hate them that hate. I hate the ones you hate. I hate the things you hate. The psalmist said to God. I hate. Do you hate what God hates? Do you have any idea what he hates? Do you have any idea what God's for and what God's against? And there's the whole problem. We try to make God for things that he's not for. Right. And therefore, that's what's going on in our lives that has got us so crimped up that it's like a paper machine with crimped paper. It ain't worth a dime. You can't make a copy with crimped up paper. But yet, we're going through the motions. It seems to be a motion. We've got a role, and we're acting out our parts. The devil is the director of sin, and he's directing a lot of people in the program of sin. He's still whispering lies to people and destroying their lives. He's still telling them God didn't mean what he said about the wages of sin is death. God does mean it, and God's going to kill some people. Folks, let me tell you, he ain't running around here seeking whom he might kill. He's running around here seeking whom he might save. He's trying to save us from the death of sin. He paid it. Look at Calvary. There's the judgment of the world right there. And if we would just look at it and let this stuff flow deeply within us and in our hearts and in our lives today, I'll tell you right now, it will be a blessing to us in the days that are to come. So, listen to me. We don't understand people. I thought I did, but then I don't understand myself. But we really don't. We don't understand what makes people tick. We really don't understand why people with good logic and good reasoning don't know how to act on what they know. If you would just act on what you know, it will bring you square face to Jesus Christ. Because if you've been in this church at least 2 Sundays, you know about Jesus. Because he's preached here and he's lifted up. And where you go to church, if you go somewhere else, I hope they lift up Christ. I hope you know. And I'm going to tell you, he works with individuals. There's but one Spirit. That's right. We got to realize there's one God. There's one Father, there's one Spirit, one baptism. I'm telling y'all, it's one. There's one body. Yeah. And in that body, I want you to know, listen, God is not a respecter of persons. It rains on the just and it rains on the unjust. Everything God does, God is going to be righteous and do everything for everybody. He's going to be the same God for you that he is for me. He will show no preference for me because I'm a preacher. He will show no preference for you in who you are. He is not a respecter of persons. And those are the things we must realize. I mean, we can beat and cut ourselves, and they used to do that. You remember when they were up on the hill, Elijah and the false prophets? They were cutting themselves. They were doing every kind of thing that they could do to try to conjure up God. But I want you to know and I want you to understand it didn't work. It wasn't worth a hill of beans. They never could get their God to come. I'm telling you right now, I don't care what man it is, build a pile and let's go to the hill. I'll guarantee you, I know the God that I know. And if he burns your pile, he's going to burn my pile. Because I want you to understand something. I know that God of Elijah there that day when he called him down and he lapped up that water, that God will come. I think that's what we need, some public test of the fact that we are walking with the Lord and the fact that our God is God. And that, hear ye, O Israel, today, our God is God. And we need to stand up on that hill against the false prophets of God and declare his word till we can't declare his word no more. Amen. Yeah. And so that's what it is. And we see that here. These people never respected Jesus. The crowd never respected Jesus. They never showed that respect. They had somebody instilled in them a lot of mockery. They knew how to mock him. Even when the man was coming to the last moments of his life, they knew how to mock him and hiss at him. And that's a term, a biblical term. That's a mockery. They were mocking him all the time. You know, well, why don't you so-and-so if you who you say you are? Well, I'm going to tell you, when you meet him, you won't ever again ask him who he is. You'll know who he is. And I'm telling you, you know that whatever he does is best for you. And you know that it'll work. You know that he's God and he can carry you through. You know, we think about healing. We see people dragging their legs. We see people paraplegic from their neck down. And I think about that one girl that's on radio. The one that jumped in the pool and broke her neck. And she was a sinful woman. Now she can't move nothing, but she writes books. She's got all kinds of things going on in her life. Thank God for breaking her neck. Brother, we don't understand that those things, God can take what happens in our life and make it for good. I'm going to tell you, if that man hadn't been beside the Lord Jesus Christ and called out to him, he'd be in hell today burning. Right. But instead, he's in paradise. Yeah. I'm telling y'all something. Things happen for a reason. He still had to die. They still had to break his legs and pull him down off that cross. But I want to tell you, he was actually here and present As Jesus said, today you'll be with me.
Yeah.
It all happened. He was a thief, he was a sinner. But in a moment, in a twinkling of an eye, he was changed.
Hey.
And so he went to be with the Lord. But those hissing people there, those critical people there, even the Roman soldiers that were crucifying him, they didn't even have a horse in that race. But they joined in the bandwagon. Well, truly, if he is, why don't he save himself? Truly, if he is. And some of you probably said, why don't he come in here and intervene in my marriage? That's a mess. Why don't he come in here and intervene with my children that are dope heads? Why don't he come in here and intervene when so many, like in Chicago, where people are being shot by the hundreds, and New York City and living in the streets of San Francisco? Why ain't God doing something? God ain't. That's not what God's about. God is about seeking to save the lost.
That's right.
Let me tell y'all something. He said the poor will always be with you. He said they'll always be with you. But I'll tell you, our crying to him is what's going to wake him up to our need and our prayer. Y'all know that? He knows everything, but when we cry out to him, go back and read through the Old Testament. I'm going through it again right now. Just read. And they cry out to him, and boy, let me tell you, when they cry out to him, it immediately responds to their cry.
That's right.
That's why he said, if my people.
Yeah.
And that's the thing we don't realize is, but there they are. There's that crowd. I can imagine, Brother Titus, I wasn't there, and there ain't no way I'll ever be there, and I'll never be able to understand the air, the aura, the atmosphere of that day when they were doing all that they were doing to him. And then after they had killed him, Joseph had taken his body off the cross and prepared it for burial and had buried him. I wonder what it was like in the synagogue when they went to the synagogue. I wonder for those people who were there mocking and ridiculing our Savior. I wonder how it felt when it turned dark. When the earth shook. When the temple that they were going into, it tore the curtain. I wonder. I guarantee you, the bigger percentage of them that know way to do this. When Peter stepped down from that upper room and said, "You're the ones." Man, it was like a shot of electricity shot through them, and they declared, "You're right. What must we do?" He said.
That's right.
"You're right. What must we do?" And like the thief on the cross, call out to him, and he will save you. Cry out to him. This same Jesus that you crucified. He came that you might have life. He came to save you. You hissed at him. You laughed at him. All you need to do is call out, "Men and brethren, what shall we do?" Call out to him. And the Bible says that the Lord added daily such as should be saved to thousands. They were saved. And I'm going to tell you something, folks. That guy didn't say, "Well, Lord, no. I mean, I understand if you don't save me. I've been so..." No, he didn't say that. He was glad. I'll tell you right now, he probably closed his eyes in gladness
Yeah.
when the Lord said,
That's right.
"Today's the day." Folks, when you realize the wages of sin, you'll certainly realize the victory of Jesus giving us life. When he himself overcome death, hell, and the grave,
Yeah.
and took us along with him. Romans 6, where it says, we are buried and risen with him in newness of life. Listen, I don't want to be in that hissing crowd. I don't want to be in that mocking crowd. I'm telling you right now, listen to me. People are pointing their finger in the nose of Jesus and daring him. They're daring him every week. They know better than what they do.
Yeah.
They know better than the way they act. But they got their thumb right up under the nose of Jesus, and they're daring him. Folks, I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you, the church needs to go numb on prayer. When people come in here that you've been praying for to get right with God and calamity is struck, Jesus said, the Bible said that I will laugh at your calamity. We as a church need to start laughing at calamity of those we are praying for, instead of trying to pray them back out from under what we've been praying to come upon them. We need to start laughing at the calamity. Why pray for God to get it right when we won't do right when God's trying to do something? Look here. I'm telling you, I know some of your issues today. If you will just shut up and get out of the way and put that thing in the hands of God and say, God, whatever it takes, I want you to stand by. You might need an EMS vehicle because God's going to intervene.
That's right.
God's going to intervene and He'll bring it to a point where truth abounds and truth comes out.
Yeah.
And that's, in most situations, what we need is the truth. Pride needs to be broken and thrown out the window. And we need the truth of circumstances. That's what happened here. This boy didn't have time for pride. This boy didn't have time to jump down and run and correct things at home. This boy didn't have no time except the little bit of time that the Lord gave him and said today. And that's all you really have. That's all I really have. That's all we have in the balcony and on the floor. That's all we really have is a little bit of time that God has given us to make things the way they ought to be. I don't know what you're going to do today, but I know what I'm going to try my best to do. I'm going to make them same phone calls that Jeffrey talked about I used to make to him, and no, they won't get an answer.
There you go.
But I'm going to make those same phone calls and tell them, we sure miss you. We sure miss you today, and we sure love you. I wish you would consider getting back to church. It would not only bless you, but it would bless us too. And they'll make another empty promise and not keep it. Another empty promise and not keep it. And then that just breaks your heart even further. Amen. Telling y'all something. What if Jesus had told us that, that's all right, boy, you'll be with me, and the boy died and they were in no paradise. Of course, Jesus ain't going to lie to you. But we just don't think that there's not an accountability for lying. We don't think that we're that part where he says you've got to give an account of yourself. We don't believe that. We just think there's going to be one big old gate swing open, a big old pearl bigger than we've ever met. We're going to run to Jesus, drop in his arms and everything. It's important that a man wants to die. And then.
That's right.
We don't think about that accountability stuff. What things we have done, whether good or bad. Y'all didn't read that in your Bible? It's right in there. Every man will give an account, whether good or bad, of the things which he's done unto the Lord.
Yeah.
We haven't read that in there. Well, I ask you to forgive me. You're going to give an account, ladies and gentlemen.
That's right.
The way you lived as proclaiming to be a child of God, you're going to account for it. Every day of it. The day you sign your name up as a Christian, from that day to this day, you will give an account of your life to the
That's
Lord.
right.
Period. That's Bible stuff, biblical stuff. And so we've got to get a hold of it. So the world over here is in darkness, and they're still ridiculed. So the thief over here, he called out to Jesus, and there are some today calling out to Jesus while we're gathered here. Some got up this morning in such a state, so frustrated, the only thing they knew to do is call out to God. And to their amazement, the moment they called out, God heard.
Amen.
To their astonishment, when they crawled out and called on his name, he called back to them. I'm telling you, boy, if it weren't for those mornings, if it weren't for those nights,
Amen. Thank you, Lord.
that we could just call out. That's what I like, why that verse says, we serve not a high priest who's not touched by the feeling of our infirmities. Man, I'm so glad he knows when my heart is broken. I'm so glad he knows when I feel like my life is trashed. When I pray for a lost soul and they don't seem to care, I'm glad we serve one who's touched and one that we can call on. How many of you have sleepless nights over lost souls? Come on now, this is honesty time. You are in church. Do you care enough about them to lose sleep? Do you lay down with a burdened heart and can't sleep because of a burdened heart? That's the kind of thing I'm talking about. You remember over the Old Testament talks about little foxes spoiled money. You see, we look at the big and we look at the mass and we think about, but let me tell you, little foxes. I remember back in the summer, I was out looking, Judy and I walk around our yards oftentimes, and the Japanese beavers had come. And I didn't see them when they first come. Japanese beavers are easy to control. But they've got to be controlled. Because if you don't control them, they'll leave that bush and they'll go down to the ground. And they'll come back and make more trouble for you. But they had eaten. By the time you find them, they've already eaten and made holes, making leaves of it. Then sometimes they'll turn around and fall off, and sometimes they'll stay on the bush ugly. You can see, our churches are full of people with ugly holes that sin is eaten out of your life. Satan took a bite out of your life, and early detection would have prevented all this stuff. But we'd rather be the one who ridiculed him because he didn't do what we wanted him to do. He didn't come in the moment we wanted him to come. If you who you say you are, then why am I going through so much trouble? But those things, all you got to do is take 7 dozen. Shh. They die. When they see you pull your finger and spray, they die. They're so easy. I'm telling y'all, it kills them immediately. Now, if you don't believe it, just spray them. It just kills them. They just give up. Flop right over. Dead. That's the way the sin is in your life this morning. You could so easily get it out of there. Just a couple of squirts of Jesus. But we won't acknowledge it. We're holding out to be right instead of confessing how wrong we are. We're holding out because we're so proud. We can't let go instead of calling out to him for mercy. How long do you think that's going to work? How long do you think that the Lord's going to put up with you? Don't y'all think he's been patient? Don't you think he's been long-suffering? I mean, God had to watch him there. God didn't give up on Christ. He was watching him on Calvary. He watched everything that they did to him leading into the day they crucified him. Jesus knew it was coming in. So there wasn't any surprises at all they did there that day. He knew. Because it had been prophesied. God had already said that's what they're going to do. But in the midst of all that, God gave his son. God had to sit there and watch that stuff. He had to listen to the ridiculers. And it took me, Brother Tyson, a lot of years to learn that I don't have to react. God does react when they mistreat his children. We don't have to fight against these churches that are hateful toward God called men. Because God will do the fighting if we would just shut up. I've seen it. A 30-year experience, and that's what really broke a streak in my life, Brother Tyson. 30 years it took God to they were reading what it said. 30 years before they read what they said. And that told me, don't give up. Just wait on the Lord.
That's right.
Just wait on the Lord. That's what he meant. Be unmovable. Be steadfast. And now, I have forgiven people in my ministry. It's just changed my whole outlook on things like that. Because you see, God sat there and watched the Calvary. And if you want to know what fear is, go to Revelation and read Revelation about the wrath of God that's coming. And that wrath of God that's coming is against the sin that crucified his child.
That's right.
You think it's not going to be justified and redeemed I'm telling you, read it. If you think you live through a time like that, good luck. When all hell that could be country has been turned loose on this earth.
That's right.
People praying for mountains to fall. Just recently, they had 2 or 3 earthquakes out in California, and somewhere else they had another, and it's coming. And aftershocks, they had many aftershocks, unusual number of aftershocks. You see in the water, sharks are now swimming right on up on, not just some beaches, but all over the continent. There, you see these sharks, white sharks and all kinds of sharks now, airplanes flying over to take pictures at Myrtle Beach and everywhere. So if you're down there, the sharks are in the water. It's just totally unusual things. And these unusual things that are happening, it's like God said, these things will be all over the place and they'll be unusual, but the end is not yet. But we're so much closer to the end than we've ever been. The church is good, and the world, and like I told you, that left behind that move, Billy Graham, there was a whole large church full of people in the move. And the pastor got up to preach, and he just didn't preach the truth. He was a liberal preacher. And at the end, when time came, the church was left. The majority of the church, that same congregation, was left, and the preacher with them. The Lord came, and they were left behind. That was free. Penny came from left behind. Didn't believe all that the Lord said. You know, of everything that God did say, here's one thing he did say and meant. It's all or none.
That's right.
If you don't believe in some of it, then you don't believe none.
That's right.
What we've done is we've wrestled with him about marriage because we might have been married 2 or 3 times. We've wrestled with him about drunkenness, or we've wrestled with him about loose living. And it says this over here, and it says this over here, and it says that over there. We quit arguing and trying to find a place in Scripture that you can hide, because there ain't no hiding place.
Yeah.
There ain't no place to hide, ladies and gentlemen. It's all none. If you're guilty of any part of that law, you're guilty of all of that law. Don't y'all never read that before? But see, nobody takes that into account. With God, you're for him or you against him. It's just that simple. These people expressed that day where they were when they ridiculed him. You think who you say you are? Come on down, big boy. Not knowing what their end would be. Of course, you know he could have come down. Y'all know that, right?
That's right.
Y'all know he could have saved the others, don't you?
That's right.
He sure could. He's God.
Yeah.
He could have done anything he wanted to do, but he done what was righteous, which is who God is. You know why he did that? Because he's God's son.
That's right.
And he said, thy will be done.
Yeah.
Listen to me. There stands the cross, and in the middle cross, the man on the cross named Jesus. The world was judged that day. Adam gave us up. Jesus Christ redeemed us. They call him the second Adam in Scripture. He came to take back the curse which was placed on us because of Adam's sin. Folks, y'all might not think it's a big deal what Adam and Eve did in the garden. But I'll tell you, it was a big deal.
Yes, it was.
Death came. Death came when they sinned.
That's right.
And I'll tell you, every day you get up out of your bed and you go and sin, you're playing around in death. The wages of sin is death. That's why John, so adamant about it in 1 John wrote that people who know God don't sin. I know that the theologians have argued that, but I'm telling you, it says it right there in 1 John. If we sin, we don't know God. And so, with that being said, you probably ain't going to change your mind this morning about it, because you've been arguing about it, you still going to go and argue about it. You still going to go and put it off to a better day in another place. You still gonna go on with the problems in your marriage, problems in your home, when you work, wherever you are. You still gonna go on with it because you won't face the reality that only God, if you just shut up, cry out, it'll be over. Because you're at the point of none. There's not very many breaks between you and judgment. We have prayer meetings, and I tell you about our prayer meetings with our pastors. And my expression to them this summer has been, our attendance has been really bad. Pray for our people. Folks, you just don't know how important it is. And I don't have a vocabulary strong enough to tell you how important it is. You can't keep erasing things that the Lord said you ought to do. And church attendance is one of them. I'm sorry. And if it's a command from Him and you don't do it, what is it that you do? A violator of the law of God and a sinner. But the worst part of it is we have scheduled long in advance to be absent. We have allowed this stuff to come into our lives. We've allowed it. I asked Ashley, I said, when are you going to be playing ball this year? She said, not school ball, I'm going to play travel ball. And somebody spoke right up and said, you'll be out of church. She said, no. I'm going to tell them that I'm going to be absent on Sunday. I thought that was awesome. Just live up to that, baby. But there's so much we plan to do not to be. Amen. Some of you need to get saved today. I just entreat you. That means plead with you by the word of God. Come. Call out to Him, not to me or not to this church, but call out to Him. He's able.